So what we'd like to do then in this session is I am going to screen share as well. So I'm going to be sharing screen and I'll get Gradcracker up, and like I said, we'll talk you through the key areas of the website. So I always say when I'm doing these presentations, I want them to be as relaxed and as informal. So please do not hesitate to ask any questions if you have any. But also if you want to get Gradcracker up in the background as well. So when we're going through the process, you can follow me around and kind of be doing similar things to what I'm doing as well, so you can start to get organized. And then again, if that generates any questions, and that's fantastic. Typically I'll probably talk for about half an hour, but like I say, if you've got any questions along the way, don't hesitate to put them in the chat, and we can cover them once I've finished. So just to do a quick introduction then, so my name is Jessica. I am Marketing Director here at Gradcracker. I've worked at Gradcracker now for over 12 years, and my role essentially is to make sure as many students like yourself are aware of Gradcracker and the fantastic employers that you're going to find on the website. If you haven't heard of Gradcracker before, Gradcracker is the UK's careers website for STEM students. So STEM standing for science, technology, engineering and maths. So how we work as a business, employers actually pay to advertise on Gradcracker. So employers pay to have a space of what we call a company hub. So I'll go and talk you through a company hub. I'll show you again how to use a company hub to research these employers and what they're doing. But essentially the company hub is going to be a place where you can really start to understand, is this company the right company for you? Are you excited about, you know, the business as a whole and what they're up to, and also where you can actually go on to apply and actually see the opportunities from that employer as well. So yeah, lots of stuff I'm going to show you in this session today. So I'm going to start to screen share now. Like I say, if you all want to get Gradcracker up in the background as well, don't hesitate to do that. And like I said, we can follow each other through the process so you can make it a little bit more personalized yourself as well. Okay, so this is the Gradcracker homepage. So excuse me, drinking. So for anyone that doesn't know, Gradcracker is going to be a fantastic resource that you all need to become familiar with. So just to let you know, this is kind of our busiest time here at Gradcracker. So we have over 370 employers live at the moment, advertising nearly over 8,500 placement opportunities, and over 11,000 graduate opportunities. So no matter what year you are in, so whether you're a first year student watching the recording, or you're here today, you may be doing a master's qualification, you can be using Gradcracker now to start to discover where your degree can take you. But also, whether you're a first year student or, like I say, a master's student, you can be applying to opportunities as well. So we've got lots of different types of placement positions on Gradcracker. So whether, like I say, it be first year summer placement, a year in industry, an insight event, as well as all the graduate opportunities as well. So lots of different opportunities, but also lots of different types of employers on Gradcracker. So the great thing about using the website is that you're going to come across lots of different types of employers that you might never have even heard of before, or didn't even realize that you could be applying to. So you're going to come across employers which are household names, so, you know, big FTSE companies, so whether it be HSBC, Barclays, Mercedes, Jaguar Land Rover, through to big companies that, again, are huge within the industry that they work in, but are not household names. Then through to companies that are quite small, so there could be startup organizations, or again, could be quite small companies, also known as an SME, so small to medium enterprise. So this is the great thing about Gradcracker. It's a fantastic place where you can really discover and explore where your degree can take you. Okay, so one of the first things I'm going to definitely recommend you all to do, and that is to actually register on Gradcracker. So you don't actually have to be registered to use the website. You can actually go on to apply. You can see all the employers' opportunities. You can see everything. But if you do register, we've actually created some features that you can access that is going to help you to stay organized. So this is going to be my first big top tip. And getting organized when you're job hunting is going to massively help through, it's going to help you throughout the whole job hunting experience, from discovering employers to apply in to actually land in the job. And because you're going to be applying to multiple opportunities, being organised is going to be a really key part of the process. So the first thing is to log in or register. So if you haven't registered, it literally takes like 30 seconds. So you can do that here. You just need your first name, your surname, email address, and you can create your own password, the university you're studying at, your degree discipline. So you can register under one of these 8 disciplines and the year of graduation. Once you've done that, like I say, it literally takes like 30 seconds. You'll then get an area called the dashboard, the university dashboard, sorry, the student dashboard here. So this is my dashboard. So I'm pretending, I wish I was, but I'm pretending I am a mechanical manufacturing student studying at Sheffield Hallam. And you can see here my dashboard. So you can see here the webinars that I'm going to attend and how many there is that I can be registering my interest to attend, the alerts, the companies I'm following, and the opportunities that I've saved to my shortlist. So like I say, once you've registered on Gradcracker, we'll give you access to these features. And these features are going to help you throughout the whole process to stay organised, to stay on top of those employers that are new to the site, new opportunities going live, but also those imminent deadlines and also those opportunities you're actually already applying to. So I can't stress enough, make sure you're registered. Okay, so if you've just registered, you're probably seeing a sea of zeros at the moment. You might not have any alerts set up, you're probably not following anyone. You won't have any opportunities saved to your shortlist. So what I want to do in this presentation is kind of get you all set up and kind of get you on the kind of job hunting kind of train so you can start applying and going through the next stages. Okay, so we'll jump back to the homepage then. Now we've registered. Once you can see, once you've actually registered on Gradcracker, the homepage then becomes kind of a bit more personalised to the degrees discipline which you've registered under. So these are the 8 disciplines that you can register under. And just a reminder, I've registered under mechanical manufacturing. Obviously, you can get Gradcracker up, like I said, in the background and do it a bit more personalised to you. But this is what I've registered under. So as instantly I can see the amount of employers, the amount of opportunities, placement and graduate roles and things like that. Okay, so just going to stay on the homepage then. A couple of things also I want to highlight on the homepage as we start going through the process. So something to keep an eye on, and that's in the top here, is what we call the ticker message. So this is kind of like an update of news that we need to let you all know about when you're using the site. So this is either news of new employers that have gone live or any imminent deadlines or anything we need to let you know about. So keep an eye on this kind of ticker message area. It's a bit like, say, like the BBC kind of breaking news or Sky Sports breaking news or something like that. So keep an eye on that area because it's a great way for us to communicate with you about any new things or anything you need to know about so you don't miss out on. Also on the homepage, you will see our Gradcracker webinars. So every Thursday, 2 till 3, we hold a webinar with one of our employers. Now, we are now in our 3rd season, but these sessions are really, really informative. They're a fantastic way for students to start to discover the employers that would recruit from their discipline, but also the employers that work within a certain industry. So it'd be a great way for you to attend these sessions to understand, do I like this employer and do I like the industry that they work in? Also, the great thing about these sessions as well is that we actually speak to the recruiter, recent grads and students that are currently actually on a placement with the organisation. So it's a real insight into the company, the recruitment process and what life is like if you were to join with that organisation. So you can register your interest to attend. So I definitely recommend you to do that. Sorry, I'll press register my interest here. Once you've done that, we'll send you an email the day before the webinar and the morning of, so you can remember to come along. They're all via Zoom. You don't have to turn your cameras and your mics on. It's a bit like this session today. You don't ask questions or anything like that, and you can just watch Gradcracker speak to the employer. We have had some fantastic responses from the sessions that we've run, and the students that do attend absolutely love these sessions. So yeah, please do come along, register your interest to attend as many as you can. And like I say, you can only attend these sessions if you're registered on Gradcracker as a student. So again, make sure you've done that if you haven't already. Okay, so keeping on the homepage then, a couple of more things to show you. So another area I want you all to keep an eye on, because this area changes every day, which is our 60-second update video. So this is my lovely colleague Morgan, and she's actually talking about Leonardo and the new opportunities that they've just added on Gradcracker and about the company themselves. So Leonardo is a huge manufacturer of helicopters. So they are talking a bit about, like I said, the opportunities that they've just opened up. So if you want to find out more, you can click there. Also, opposite that, you've got the latest opportunities. So like I say, this is kind of the busiest time here at Gradcracker. We've got lots of employers going live with their placement and graduate roles at the moment. So for anyone that doesn't know, the kind of graduate and undergraduate recruitment calendar really coincides with the academic year. So lots of employers now are going live with their placement and graduate positions. Then as we start to head into the new year and head back into the springtime, that's when you're going to see lots of employers closing out those roles as well. So this is a fantastic time for you all to start thinking about applying. I always use the analogy of fishing. So you're kind of casting your net now. You're putting as many applications out there as you can with the intention now, as we start to head into the winter, into the springtime, that's when you'll start to hear back from these organisations. That's when you've been invited to the interview, you know, assessment centres and things like that. So this is the time. So for anyone that doesn't know, you are almost applying like a year in advance. So you're putting your applications in now for the intention to be starting these opportunities when you finish this academic year. So this is the time to be applying. Okay, the other thing, when you are using the website, you're going to come across lots of different employers, again, that work in lots of different industry sectors. So my next kind of top tip would all be about giving yourself time to research the companies and the organisations and keep an open mind. I can't stress that enough. The more that you keep an open mind when you're using Gradcracker, the more opportunities that you're going to come across. So don't just be led by the job title, for example, or the employer or the industry. You know, the more that you keep an open mind, the more opportunities you will be able to apply to, because you'll come across that lots of employers that will recruit from all STEM disciplines. So there pretty much isn't an industry that you can't work in, which is really, really exciting. Okay, so what we're going to do then, we're going to start to jump into the search then, and we'll start to have a look at some organisations and some opportunities that you can all be applying to. So for the sake of the presentation, I'll click mechanical manufacturing and I'll click graduate opportunities. So again, if you want to get Gradcracker up in the background and make this process a bit personalised to yourself, you're more than welcome to do that. Okay, so I've selected mechanical manufacturing, and that would be very similar to, again, all the 8 main disciplines from the homepage. You can then drill down underneath that into what we call by sub-disciplines. So these areas are a bit more niche within the kind of head title of mechanical manufacturing. You can then also drill down into graduate jobs or placements. So I've selected graduate jobs, but actually I will select placements as well, just for those students that, again, might be watching the recording and not aware of the different types of placements and internships they can find on Gradcracker. So as I've mentioned, whether you're a first year student looking for a summer placement, or you are final year student thinking about getting some experience whilst at university, you can find these kind of work placements here. But we'll keep it graduate opportunities for now, because I know a majority of you will be looking for graduate roles, so what are the students that are attending this session. Underneath that, you can also hunt by employer and region city. So just something I want to talk about, again, keeping an open mind if you can, especially when you're thinking about location. Because, since the pandemic, what we've actually seen, lots of employers now have really embraced this kind of idea of kind of flexi working, and lots of employers now have kind of embraced this kind of hybrid approach of working. So what that means is you'll find quite a few opportunities on Gradcracker now that mean that you can be in the office, say a couple of days a week, and the rest of the week you can be working from home. So think about that when you are looking for opportunities. Would you prefer to be fully embraced and be in the organisation, say 5 days a week, or do you quite like the idea of kind of doing a bit remote and a bit in the office? So have a bit of a think about that, but also think about location as well. Don't just think about the location that you're currently in. So don't just think about Sheffield. If you can, do think further afield. Again, the more kind of open you are to relocating for these opportunities, again, the more opportunities you'll come across. But also just to stress that lots of our employers on Gradcracker can help into sort of relocation packages. Lots of these employers are so geared up to help you to relocate that, I wouldn't want you just to think about the particular location that you're in now. Okay, next, you can also be using on the search is the keyword search. So that's perfect for any students that are maybe interested in a particular area or a particular subject maybe you've covered so far at university, or whatever that may be. Definitely use keyword search, and that'll pull through any relevant opportunities as well. Also, next, I want to kind of explain how you can order your results. So by default, the order will be by discipline relevance, but just some things to bear in mind is things like deadline. So I've mentioned already quite a few employers will start to have more and more imminent deadlines, as we said, kind of head towards kind of January, February time. But there are lots of employers already with imminent deadlines. So I just want you all to kind of bear that in mind, because some of you might want to use this as a bit of a priority of maybe putting these applications in first so you don't miss out. Because again, once they're closed, normally they're closed and they won't be reopening until next year. So if you see an opportunity you like and it does have an imminent deadline, again, just make sure you get your applications in as soon as you can so you don't miss out. Also, you can order by grade ascending and descending. So again, I know there's a couple of students on the call today that are maybe studying a master's qualification or maybe a PhD or whatever. Just let you know, you can order your results by that as well. So again, you can come across employers that specify a certain qualification and things like that. That might be more relevant to yourself. Okay, so we'll keep it discipline relevance for now, because that is how it will be by default. And we'll start to have a look through some opportunities again some of you can be applying to. So I always say to students, this is kind of the most exciting time when you're going through Gradcracker, because you're going to come across lots of different employers, again, that work across lots of different industry sectors. So this is a classic at Gradcracker here that you can see. You've got Designer Group, which is a huge technical provider and turnkey engineering, sat right next to Stantec, which is a huge architecture and engineering firm, sat right next to Mewburn and Ellis, which is a huge IP intellectual property specialist organisation. So just as you can see there, three completely different organisations working across completely different industry sectors, again, all recruiting from a mechanical manufacturing discipline. So I always say to students, it's all about keeping an open mind. So don't just be led by the actual job title, but make sure you're looking at the company and the organisation as well, and keep an open mind, because what I don't want you to do is miss out on a company or an organisation because you're not really giving yourself time to research and really understand what that company does. Okay, so I'll pick a company and opportunity at random. Again, you're more than welcome to get Gradcracker up in the background and kind of pick an opportunity that you would be interested in. But I'll say pick Caterpillar for the sake of the presentation. So what you do here when you come across an opportunity that you are interested in, you'd actually click on the opportunity itself. But for the sake of the presentation, again, I'm going to click on the logo because that takes you into what we call the company hub homepage. So as I mentioned, every employer on Gradcracker gets what we call a company hub, and a lot of them will be laid out very, very similar. So this is Caterpillar's company hub, and this is their space that they have on Gradcracker to really kind of inform you of everything that they do as a company, the project they're working on, the kind of people they recruit, the working environment, their stance on sustainability, all this kind of stuff. So when I'm speaking to students like yourself, I'm always saying to them, right, everyone's going to keep telling you over the next couple of weeks and months that you must be putting well-tailored targeted applications together. And the only way that you're going to do that is if you do your research. So doing your research is going to be absolutely crucial for two reasons. One, to make sure this is the right employer for you. And secondly, to make sure that you're going to be their ideal candidate. So you need to go through every page before you rush off and apply, before you hit apply and kind of start the process. Really understand, is this a company I can really imagine myself working in? And, do I like that organisation? Do I like the industry that they're working in? Do I like the working environment? Do I like, for example, their stance on sustainability? What's the culture like? If it's ticking all your boxes, then yes, go on to apply, because the more that they tick your boxes, the more passionate you're going to come across in your application as well. It's going to prove to the employer that you genuinely want to work for them. You've got an interest in the industry, and, this is a company you actually do want to work for. Okay, so once you're at the point you think, yes, I like this company, I'm ready to apply, a couple of things I would definitely recommend you to do, and that's to follow that company. Now, again, this is another feature you can only use if you are registered on Gradcracker. So this is another fantastic top tip. So make sure you are following any companies that you come across on Gradcracker. By following them, it basically means you can set up your alert preferences. So you can say, right, I'm really interested in Caterpillar. I really like this company. I'm really interested in what they're all about. And then what you can see here, hopefully you can see the pop-up where it says, right, let's follow this company and let's be alerted about any new opportunities that they have. So this is a great way to kind of stay up to date with organizations, to make sure you don't miss out on anything and any news that you need to know about. So first things first, if you like the company, make sure you follow them on Gradcracker. Okay, so once we've done that, you then think, right, okay, I like this company, I think I'm ready to apply. So typically, you probably have clicked straight into the job description from the search itself. So I'll click again another opportunity at random, just to highlight a lot of these kind of company hubs, like I said, are very, very similar layout, and so are the job descriptions as well. So it doesn't really matter if this isn't a company or an opportunity you are interested in for the sake of the presentation. Okay, right-hand side then. A couple of things I want to highlight to you all here. So the opportunity overview. So here you can see the deadline of the opportunity. So make sure, again, you get your applications in good time. Don't leave it until, say, the 1st of December to apply to this particular role. Make sure you give yourself good time to apply, and make sure you don't forget the deadline as well. Also, salaries. So every single opportunity we advertise on Gradcracker is paid. We don't actually advertise any unpaid positions on the website. Lots of employers on Gradcracker, offer very competitive salaries, really good salaries on Gradcracker. So what you can see for placement opportunities can vary from about £15,000 up to about £20,000. And then for graduate positions, you can see vary from about £20,000 up to over £30,000. And lots of these organisations have fantastic salaries, plus lots of benefits and bonuses and things like that. So keep an eye on that area, because again, that might help sway your decision in terms of relocating and things like that. Another thing to highlight is grades. Sometimes you'll see that an employer does specify a grade. So I know that can be a bit disconcerting if you haven't finished your particular qualification just yet. You might think, I don't even know if I'm on track to receive that particular grade or qualification. So you might want to have some conversations with your tutors, lecturers before you go on to apply. But I just want to highlight that here. Again, the employer knows that you might not have finished your qualifications just yet. So as long as you're on track to receive that grade, then like I say, you're absolutely fine to apply. Also, bear in mind location, as I keep talking about. Make sure it is a location you are willing to either commute to or relocate to. Okay, so now I want to cast your eye to the left-hand side. So this is what we call the job description. So I always say to students, this is going to be the most important bit of information that you're going to get from the employer at this kind of early stage of the application process. So again, my next top tip is to make sure you go through the job description with a real fine tooth comb and really understand exactly what the employer is asking for before you rush off to apply. Because lots of these employers, are asking, yes, for your technical skills, but they're nowadays looking for well-rounded candidates. So they want to know more than just about your degree or your master's qualification. They want to know about your experiences. They want to know, about your foundation and what really makes you an individual. So things like, are you a good communicator? Are you a good problem solver? Are you a good team player? As well as having all the technical knowledge that you will have gained at university. So think about that before you rush off to apply. Really understand exactly what the employer is asking for, and think of situations that you have been in as well that can prove to the employer that you've got those skills and qualities. So this is a classic here, Are you, your professionalism? Are you enthusiastic for engineering? So that'd be a great thing to think about before you apply. Think, okay, how can I prove to Caterpillar, for example, that I am really enthusiastic about engineering? What kind of things have I done in my degree or my master's qualification? But also, what am I doing outside of my degree that can prove that I'm genuinely passionate and interested and enthusiastic about, engineering? So, for example, you're part of a student STEM society, or, do you do something outside of your degree that means that you can upskill yourself in a certain way about a particular thing, whether it be just via social media or, whatever it may be, watching kind of YouTube channels or whatever it may be, I don't know, to kind of keep abreast of all the kind of the latest things that are going on within the industry. That's the kind of stuff as well the employers love to hear about, as well as obviously your technical knowledge. Okay, so when you're at the point you think, yes, I love this employer, I love this opportunity, I'm excited, I've got all the skills and all the knowledge that they're asking for, you're thinking about going on to apply, typically it'll be an online application. So what that means is you'll click straight from Gradcracker to the employer's website where you'll start the application process. So a couple of things I would definitely recommend you to do here, and that's things like save every opportunity that you're interested in to your shortlist. So by saving an opportunity to your shortlist, again, you can only use this if you are registered on Gradcracker as a student. So this is my next top tip. Make sure you do that, because basically it means that you can refer to the job and the job description at any point in the kind of job hunting process. Because as we saw with this particular opportunity, it's got a deadline of the 2nd of December. So for example, on the 3rd of December, this opportunity will come off Gradcracker, it'll come off the employer's website as well. So you might put your application, say, in today, tomorrow, but you might, in that kind of time from hearing back from now to hearing back from Caterpillar on your application, you might have applied to multiple other positions. So you don't want to forget what you've applied to, and you don't want to forget and then you can't find the job description on it anymore. So please do make sure you save all the opportunities to your shortlist. So I've clicked on that button now. This is now taking me into my dashboard area, again, in my shortlist area, where here I can make application notes. So for example, we're talking earlier about those kind of things you might have mentioned in your application. So giving examples of why you are so enthusiastic about engineering. You think, right, okay, I'm going to make my notes here. So when I do get invited to an interview, I can remember exactly what I mentioned. I can remember exactly what, kind of skills and qualities that this employer was looking for. And I can make sure that I can reiterate that in the next stage of the application. Also, you can mark off where you're at in the application process as well. Again, great way to stay organised and stay on top of that opportunity. Then absolute worst case scenario, if you're not successful with this particular employer, this particular opportunity, you can just remove it from your shortlist and move on to the next role. Now, resilience is going to be a massive part of the job hunting process. I think the national average at the moment is something like 40 applications. So you want to make sure that, yes, you're putting well-tailored, targeted applications together, but also you need to learn that rejection is going to be part of the process as well. So if you do get rejected, I always say to students, make sure you ask for feedback on why your application wasn't successful. Learn from those maybe mistakes you have made, but also, learn that, it is just part of the process, unfortunately. So, like I say, if you're not successful, you can just remove the opportunity and move on to the next role that you have been applying to. Okay, another way that you can actually come across employers on Gradcracker as well is by using the company hub A to Z or the sector A to Z. So I'm going to come out of my dashboard. I'm going to show you another way of coming across employers on Gradcracker. So as you can see here, you can also search by the sector instead. So what this area does, it groups all of our employers by the different industries that they work in. So again, for the sake of this recording, even if you're a first year student sat here thinking no idea what I should be doing or what companies are even out there or what even different industries I could be working in, this is a great way of kind of discovering those employers and the companies that are out there. So say, for example, you were all interested in, I don't know, let's not go investment, let's go manufacturing sector. And what you can do here is you can see all these companies that work within that sector and what they do. So say, for example, you came across ABB, you think, right, let's find out more about ABB. At the moment, you can see they're actually closed and they're due to open soon. So one thing you can definitely do again, and this when the follow feature comes back into play, is follow that employer. And then as soon as they open in the next couple of weeks or months, we can be the first to let you know. But again, you can see everything you need to know about the company. Again, it's a great way to stay organised and make sure you're not missing out on putting an application in, because the worst thing you can do is come across an employer that you like and then forget to apply when they do open. So make sure you are doing that. Also, as well, it's a great way to see, like I said, all these companies in one place. So have a good look at that area as well. Okay, last but not least, I'm just going to I'm going to show you around the Gradcracker Career Centre. So the Gradcracker Career Centre is an area which we have created that pretty much houses lots of advice about the kind of job hunting process. So quite a bit about what I've talked about already. So how to research, how to come across different employers, but all the way right through to kind of applying, the different stages of the application process. And then, like I say, right through to actually getting the job. So what we've done within the Career Centre, we've kind of given you advice by topic and the different stages and, how to be a successful job hunter. So within the Gradcracker Career Centre, you'll also find the upcoming webinars. So like I said, these are fantastic sessions that I really would recommend you all to come along. Like I say, you can hear directly from the recruiter. So that's the person you'd actually be applying to. So if you were interested in MBDA, this is Alison. You can hear from her. She's the person you'd actually would be applying to, but also people that have gone through the process as well, and a bit about their experiences. Also, you can watch back on previous webinars. So as I've mentioned, all the sessions that we've run in the past have all been recorded. Again, a great way for you to kind of discover the different employers, different industries as well. Right through to the career coach. The career coach, as I mentioned, kind of gives you advice by topic. So no matter what stage you're at, so if you do get invited to say to do an online test, so it could be say a psychometric test or a situational judgment test, you can find out more about those particular tests or about an assessment centre or whatever stage you might be at or get invited to, and you can practice here as well. So I definitely recommend you to have a look through this area, because like I say, it's a great way for you to prepare for each stage to make sure that you're kind of going into each stage as confidently as you can be. So have a good look through this area as well. Okay, and then last but not least is I just want to show you the Gradcracker toolkits. So Caroline mentioned to me before this session started that hopefully a lot of you have either picked up the Gradcracker toolkit booklet, or you haven't got picked up, or maybe haven't picked up a booklet yet. But basically, these are booklets which we produce every year. This is the ebook format, but basically these are industry sector guides which we produce, and they're really, really handy tools for you to use throughout your kind of job hunting journey. Hopefully you can still see see me on the screen, but this is me holding my copy. Like I said, they're really, really useful. You can actually download it as a PDF format if you wanted, but if you wanted to pick up a copy, again, there's lots in the career service, but like I said, they're a really, really useful guide, and you can discover lots of employers and lots of different industries that you can work in there as well. So make sure you pick up that. Okay, so I'll stop screen sharing. And I know Caroline's just mentioned in the chat where you can pick up a copy, which is fantastic. But also I want to kind of hand the floor back to yourselves and just see if anyone's got any questions. Is anyone unsure about anything, or would anyone like to know anything else?